Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock, and we begin tonight with new developments about the president's proposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
Tonight, there is officially a 30-day pause on those tariffs that would have triggered higher prices on many of the items that you use every day. We're talking everything from food to fuel. However, the tariffs against China are still in effect and still scheduled to go in place tomorrow.
Our Samantha Johnson stopped by a liquor store today and learned past tariffs have hurt their business and consumers.
Conn's Fine Wines and Spirits has been locally owned for more than 45 years, and Manbeer, the general manager, knows his liquors.
This one I run best pricing in the city on, but I probably won't be able to do that when and if the tariffs get hit.
New taxes on imports from China and soon Canada will raise prices on popular brands.
Crown Royal, Canada's largest exports for whiskey, will definitely be impacted. Either $35, $36 a bottle for the regular. That's $6 more.
Tequila will also cost you more, with taxes on Mexican products set to take effect in a month.
There is no substitute for tequila. Tequila is tequila.
Unfortunately, Conn's knows what could happen to their bottom line. During the first Trump administration, the president enacted a 25% tax on these wines from Bordeaux, France.
Once the prices rose to that level, they never came back down. We never saw a decrease in price, and we saw a decrease in buyers. We never have these many wines just sitting around.
This year, experts say we, the consumers, likely won't feel the effects for another 3 to 6 months.
First, what we have to do is get rid of the supply that's already in the States. Once that supply is gone and the new supply comes from either Canada or Mexico, that's when the increase in tariffs will happen and the pricing will go into effect.
And while finding alternatives is easier said than done,
frankly, for Canadian whiskey, we can only buy Canadian whiskey.
Conn's wants its customers to know,
if you see a price increase, it's because the price went up to us.
And they aren't making any money by raising prices. So Manbeer says instead, find domestic alternatives if you can, or stock up now.
Yes, please, please. Especially if that favorite liquor store is Conn's Fine Wines.
In Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Sandu shared that he also is worried about supply chain issues once those higher prices do take effect. He compared it to some of those early days of the pandemic.
And it's not just the price of alcohol that could be impacted by tariffs. Groceries, fuel, and electronics could also become more expensive.
Other crucial supplies like steel, lumber, and car parts could also see a rise in price as well. You can read our continuing coverage of these proposed tariffs right now at WTHR.com.
One thing we don't mind rising during the month of February is the temperature. It was an epic weather day all across central Indiana. Temps soaring into the 60s. Hope you got outside because this warm weather is not sticking around.
Easy come, easy go.
Yes, I'm here to alert you this time tomorrow, 20 to 30 degrees colder than where we are right now. I know, didn't need the heavy coat today, but you will need it again tomorrow. More on that chilly change that's coming back. But let's focus on 68 degrees today. That breaks the previous record of 67 in 2020. Tomorrow, 20 to 30 degrees colder. Do not put that heavy coat away. We are not done with winter, although it looks spectacular out there right now and feels just as nice. 59 degrees at Morris Reservoir. We have cooled to 53 Bunker Hill. It's 61 in Carmel and a great sunset underway. 64 degrees in Greensburg. Evening temperatures will stay in the 50s. When you join us tonight at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be tracking that colder air moving in. Lafayette, Kokomo already down into the 30s and 40s. Wake up temperatures tomorrow morning in the 30s and highs tomorrow only near 40.
Angela, we've been warned. Thanks so much. Tonight we're learning more about an illegal party that was shut down by IMPD over the weekend. Metro Police tonight telling us nearly 200 people gathered at the Encanto Banquet Hall, which is near Washington and Midhofer Saturday night. They tell us that officers shut down the party after seeing several underage people drinking alcohol. Officers investigated and determined the organizers did not have the proper permits. Police arrested one person for underage drinking and issued several citations with a maximum penalty of $10,000.
The Indiana Senate just passed a bill to help local sheriff's departments cover the costs of working with ICE.
And our State House reporter Emily Longnecker breaks down the latest immigration bill.
Supporters of this bill say it's not about sheriff's departments going out into communities and rounding up undocumented people. They say that it is about giving sheriff's departments federal funding so that they could be able to train, to be able to help ICE identify undocumented people who are already in jail, arrested on suspicion of a crime. U.S. law allows ICE to delegate some of its federal authority to local police on certain immigration issues. One way is to train officers to deliver immigration warrants to prisoners being held in jail that are already on ICE's radar. The other involves training officers to identify undocumented immigrants in jail and start the deportation process for ICE. The House has a separate bill that would require all Indiana sheriff's departments to sign up for the training, something that has received some pushback from local sheriff's departments, who say they don't have the manpower to do ICE's job for them. Senate Bill 430 would allow sheriff's departments to get federal funding for that training to be able to work with ICE.
The common theme that we're hearing from both the federal and the state level administration is that, mass deportations, we're talking about, not necessarily just for individuals that are incarcerated. This is for all individuals. I mean, would you agree with that?
Well, the focus, kind of to bring you back to the bill, the focus of the 287G program is not that wide in scope. Now, is there public sentiment for that? I think the election told us there is. Certainly that's what I hear from my constituents.
We know right now no sheriff's departments in Indiana have signed up for this training, although Hamilton County has recently signed a memorandum of understanding saying that they are open to exploring getting this ICE training. The Indiana Sheriff's Association says that they are neutral on this bill, on sheriff's departments, sheriff's employees receiving this training, but we know we've heard from many sheriffs that they are open to the training, but they say they do not want to have to do ICE's job for them. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Snow removal continues to be a big topic here in Indianapolis. Some streets, as you know, take days to get cleared after a snowstorm. Others aren't cleared at all.
But there is a new proposal that could change the way that streets are cleared in the future. Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick is at tonight's City County Council meeting where that new proposal is being introduced. Lauren, you have been on this story, tracking down the developments. What do you think we can expect reasonably tonight at this meeting?
Well, Anna Scott, that meeting is scheduled to start in less than an hour here at the City County building, and we know it has to deal with how the city plows our streets, specifically regarding residential streets that are not included in the city's current snow removal policy. And this all really got started last month after Indy was hit with 2 snowstorms back to back. Dozens of residents started reaching out to us wondering why their streets weren't plowed. That's when we learned the city changed its policy from its 6-inch rule to a connector street strategy. So even though DPW now plows certain residential streets each time it snows, it still leaves about 1,400 other miles in neighborhoods untouched. This means if contractors aren't called in, those neighborhoods are on the hook to clear their own streets, something councilors pushed back on during last month's Public Works Committee.
Other cities have far worse conditions than us, and they're out there plowing the residential streets. And we're sitting here acting like we don't know how to do it.
And that was Democratic Councilor Jared Evans. He is the one sponsoring the proposal that is being introduced tonight, which we know right now has bipartisan support. And we do expect to interview him after the meeting tonight, and we'll bring you his plans for this proposal and what he hopes to get out of it coming up at 11. For now, Ann and Scott, back to you.